Hello. Nice to see you. We've taken 2 weeks off. We haven't talked as much on the phone, so I missed you a lot.
I missed you, buddy.
Yeah,
Those that don't know, we talk every other day.
a lot.
Now we made that a pod.
I know I have a joke about you talking to
Do
you
you
on
really?
the phone. That's getting better. It's the sports
yeah,
one,
that's
but
right.
I also
Yeah.
took a very explicit snippet from something you've said. The joke's not about you, and no one will ever know it's about you, but I took a very explicit. The bit of the joke is to take something very serious and insert something very wild and then go back to serious very quickly. Comedy. But then what makes the joke funny to me right now is how accurate and like heavy the serious part is in contrast to the, yeah, you get it. And then
That's me, baby. That's me, baby.
Because you need the serious. I mean, I'm starting to feel like for comedy, you need the heavy, you need the human part to
Totally.
counter the silly. Yeah.
I hear you, buddy. You're talking to a man who is hours away from doing a corporate. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's right.
What was the last
And for
corporate I did? Yeah.
those listening who have never done a corporate gig, what you're doing is you're being dropped into a company party where everybody knows each other. Everybody's excited to see each other. This is their big celebration. And in the middle of that, they go, "Here's a clown." Hey, everybody, shut up. Here's a clown. And then you come out and you go, and you can't really talk about yourself because no one cares about you. The deal in the comedy club is we're excited to hear your story. But when you do a corporate, it's like you go in there and you're like, no one cares about me.
What I think makes it hard is you're trying to perform, but so are they.
Mm-hmm.
It's a corporate event. They're already putting on airs for each other. They're already playing a character. They're already code switching and tone shifting and all of that. So yeah, I think in a corporate environment, because I hear Laura on work calls all day, and she turns on her call and like it's a different voice, it's a different person.
Same with
And
Jess.
even when it's fun, it's still.
I mean,
Also, shout out to something I think is very funny in the corporate world. I hear a lot of Laura's sales calls, and the amount to which they use the word rock star on those calls would make Jimi Hendrix roll over in his grave.
they do a lot of "You're a rock star."
Oh, he's a rock. Shout out to Kevin. He's been a real rock star this quarter. It like heinous use of that word. I am offended. Rock star. I think here's how not rock star that is. When rock stars have a bad night, they're like, I felt like a real cybersecurity salesperson up there. I think that's the that is how not a rock star your job is.
I mean, they love rock star. They love like crushing it, killing. He's been killing it lately.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the corporate talk, and I'll do it too. I'll find myself switching when I talk to like my managers or something, or like
Really?
I'll feel myself all of a sudden being like, guys, we got to really like, it's okay. Like, let's just focus on. Like, I'll get my all of a sudden like I'll start hearing myself.
Oh, corporate identity. It's so fun. I don't have one. I don't think. Maybe with like bookers, like managers, if I want to show up to a club, or how I talk to like. I had lunch with the. Am I interrupting you? I'm sorry.
Not at all. But that's
Okay.
very funny to do.
I talk a lot. I'm not a good listener, and you put up with it really well.
My
it's crazy.
stuff's not that good. I think I get
Well, I think
excited.
you
I'm
and
like,
I-
yeah. It wasn't going anywhere.
I love when I get interrupted when I had nothing to say. That's the best feeling.
One of the best feelings. That feeling when you're like on a rant and you're like, I don't got it. I got nowhere to go.
I don't know where. I don't know.
And someone's like,
There's no
actually, and you're
runway.
like, you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
you go. Yeah, no,
Jesus,
you
take the
over.
wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I go, oh boy, I had nothing.
This was an interesting experience. I went to Charlotte, North Carolina, where the bookers for New York Comedy Club and The Stand both live, and Laura and I had lunch with each of them. That is me on good behavior. Me sitting with a New York Comedy Club booker more than any club on the road, because a club on the road books me for one weekend. So let's keep it professional. But like those New York spots, man. If you're in a club in New York City, it doesn't matter how famous, how successful you are. You need that. That's the keys to the gym.
Yes, my LA bookers. It's like they're my best friends. I need them to love me. I do everything I can to make them my friend.
Mm-hmm. And I like them as people. Yeah, I'm not trying to say I'm using them, but it's just like
Same. I think we use each other. It's in theory, Matthew, you're smart.
Mm-hmm.
Where two organisms use each other. Help each other.
Symbiosis.
It's a symbiotic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thank God I got that. Wow.
I was like, I was like, Matthew.
Thank God. I was like, don't look too proud. Don't look too proud.
No, dude. I know. If I one thing I know about Matthew, it's he's got symbiotic locked and loaded at all times.
Symbiotic.
It is. It's a symbiotic relationship. We need each other. I think it's the beauty of it, and it's why I hate when people don't treat bookers nicely, and I don't like when bookers treat comics not nicely, because I'm like, we should be working together. We're in this together.
Yes.
If we help each other, we are better off.
And low key, and I'm not just buttering bread here, sometimes the bookers for comedy shows are like way above their weight class good hangs. I don't know why, but like when they hang in a room full of comics, you forget they're not. Like
Totally.
They're sharp, their stories are good, their tags are funny.
I'd argue they're better. I'd argue they're the better hang.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
You know what else is
like, oh my God, they asked me a question about myself? That's crazy. I forgot what that feels like.
You know what's an important symbiotic relationship that we need to reestablish? People who fly a lot and people who work at airlines.
Yes, you were ranting about this.
We need to work with each other. Because we got all these people who only fly a couple times a year. And they're killing us. They're killing me right now. You and I are both flying right now during a time where can't stress enough how bad a time it is to fly. Everybody's angry. Everybody's angry. Everyone's angry. But it's like, I fly a lot. I get what's going on. I get it. I get what's happening. And they know what's going on. And they know, for people like us, very frustrating. We have to work together. I really think we have to protect them. They have to protect us. But we got to have, if you are flying a lot right now, you need to be going out of your way to protect TSA and those workers from the people who are like, I can't believe my flight is delayed. It's like every flight's delayed right now. That's how flights are right now. If your flight isn't delayed, you've hit a miracle. Don't even let it into your brain your flight isn't going to be delayed.
For me, yikes, with my schedule coming up, that makes me very nervous.
Dude,
yeah, what rudeness do you see?
Oh, I mean, with TSA, it's like the line and stuff, and it's like the TSA people getting it a little.
Well, sometimes they do suck, by the way. At some airports, you're like, you guys clearly aren't just walking off in the middle of it. And sometimes they're on it. I've seen some very good workers lately.
I love one with a good bit. I love a good bit.
Can I tell you my favorite? TSA. Can I tell you my favorite TSA bit?
Yeah.
Do you have one?
No, I don't have one that comes to mind. It's all just like, as long as they have like a line. I like when they have a line. Just like, guys, one computer per bag, unless you have two, in which case, give me one. They say that 70 times a day. I'm glad to be there for one of them.
I wish I could find this young man. This must have been 2015, LAX airport, 5 a.m. No one's having fun. This is the regular TSA line. He's just a young man going, okay, take everything out of your pockets, even lint. Take lint out of your pockets. Take lint out of your belly button. One time, one guy had lint in his belly button. It was an Audi. How's that even possible? No one's laughing. I'm just looking around. I've never seen such an underappreciated comedic performer in my life. I've watched a lot of people, a lot of good comics not do well. That man, I was like, that's good material. He's clearly riffing. The nature of the delivery made me believe this was truly him finding something funny as he spoke. Not too, like, your line, a little shticky, easy to steal. That's just funny.
Appropriate. Walks the appropriate line. I think about 6 months ago, there was a meeting amongst the big airlines. And they said, there was a meeting, and they all sat down, and they said, we're going to let our flight attendants, we're going to let them loose. We're going to let them off the leash. Flight attendants be cracking jokes these days.
Yeah, they went from regular teacher to inner city teacher.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, martial law.
A lot of jokes. And I'm not saying I love all the jokes. I will say there are times that I will
literally. Oh, you're saying off the leash comedically?
Comedically.
Not in a disciplinary way. Okay.
No. I'm saying comedically,
they're saying
flight attendants are
imbue some levity any way possible.
They're doing 5 minutes to start every flight right now.
Delta. I know Southwest, that's their whole shtick, and I hate that.
Everybody's doing it.
I find Southwest comedy to be like the cruise comedy of airline jokes. Yeah.
I mean, listen.
They're a little too proud.
Here's what I'll say. I don't know if I've loved one of the fives. There's been times where I have had my headphones on, and I have literally taken them off to be like, there's no way she's still talking. There's no human way the announcements are still going. And then I'll catch her mid-bit, where she's like, now let's say you're in the ocean. Don't worry. We're going to take care of you. And also, who doesn't need a dip? And you're like, what is happening here? When did the flight attendants get off the leash these days? They're doing
There was
bits.
one years ago. This was a good bit too, because I appreciate underappreciated bits. It was the guy who just went on the loud. He comes on the microphone. I don't think it was the pilot. I think it was one of the attendants. Like, so make sure your seats are back, and we're gonna lift those tray tables up, and he just kept drawing out the grumbles, and to the point where you're like, you start to realize it's a bit. It was a very funny performance.
I love that.
Yes.
A woman had a really good one on a Delta flight. This wasn't my last flight. This was the one to Miami. She did this. She was like, we're going to start getting ready for our descent. So everybody, please make sure that you put away everything. We want to make sure we take everything off the plane, like if you have headphones or headphone holders. And also if you were to have headphones and potentially the headphone bag that they came in. And also just think about whether you have any headphones and the headphone thing that they came. And it was very well delivered.
Very, very tricky.
Very tricky.
That's not a popsicle chick joke. You got to have some. You got to have. It's got to be. It's got to be conversational, which is the hardest part.
I love these flight. I think I like it. There are times, look, it's like comedy. Are some of these flight attendants? I think they don't got it, and they've been let off the leash, and they just don't got the comedic bone. Sure, but there's a lot.
Yeah, but you don't have to have it. Sometimes you can just catch lightning in a bottle.
Sometimes they're catching lightning in a bottle, but I like that they're going for it. I see it across the board, and I say to all the flight attendants, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm enjoying the bits. I have my headphones on most of the time, so I'm missing a lot of it. But if you go for long enough, I will eventually go, why is she still talking?
Yeah.
I will eventually.
You know what? Yeah.
Why? There's no
lighting her. Hey. Wrap it up.
Yeah, so, we've done the same announcements now for my entire life. I don't know if the announcements have changed in 30 years.
No. What's funny is they do that little, exit row spiel. They get all the exit row, and every time, no matter how much you fly, you have to listen to it. It's like, guys, I'm here every week. I'm never going to learn it. I will never know what to do in the event of emergency. Yep. I've flown probably maybe close to 1,000 times in my life now. I'm not gonna. I don't know. If things go wrong, I'm gonna run around like with a chicken with his head cut off, and that's what everyone's gonna do.
If things go wrong, I see a red bar and it looks like I'd pull down on it. I'm assuming I pull down on that. If that isn't what it says on this instructions, we're all in big trouble.
No.
But
I'm going to try to punch out the window and break my hand, and now there's going to be even more calamity.
Yep. And that's actually the wrong thing.
I'm going to panic in every way possible. You know what my secret dream is? This is very embarrassing. Is when they make good jokes on the flight, and afterwards I'm getting off the flight, and I'm like, hey, that was funny. I want so bad from like, hey, thanks. Wait, aren't you that comedian? That means so much more now. Wouldn't that be the best thing to ever happen? It's never happened. They're like, yeah, sure.
We should.
I always do.
Them. I'll get an occasional, aren't you? But I've never complimented them on the jokes. I should. You know what?
Because what if?
That's a good.
What
goal.
if they recognize you?
That's a good goal, though. Is the next flight attendant? It'll be the next flight I go on that cracks some jokes. As I get off, I'm gonna say, hey, I really like those jokes. I'm gonna try to be more giving of my compliments to the flight attendants.
Ooh, I had a flight back from. It was international. What's the place near Tulum? What's the place that everyone flies out of? What's the real vacation spot in Mexico? The big one.
Oh, Cancun Cancun.
Is Cancun a country or a city? An airport. Cancun. Yeah, it's Cancun. We just had a real ornery crew. It was like a 3 p.m. flight, no delays, and everyone was just antsy and just mouthy. Like we were on the tarmac, and some guy runs into the bathroom. Just runs to the. We've been sitting at the gate for a while. And some guy just runs to the bathroom. And I'm always going to sympathize with the people who need to use the restroom. And a flight attendant runs over, bangs on the door. He's like, hey, you can't. What are you doing? We're trying to take off. He was like, you want me to piss my pants? So it's just already getting heated. And then he gets out of the bathroom. He's like, what was the big deal? And then we wait another 10 minutes. So he was clearly right.
Yeah. I mean, I think you do a polite. I'd argue there's a polite hitting the thing. Hey, I'm so sorry. I have to use the restroom. I think we could have used that. We don't sprint back there. I like a good ask. But that's my only criticism.
Banging on the door? I mean, it felt like.
That's what I'm saying. People are ornery. There's a lot of ornery, and that's why I think
Yeah.
us regular flyers, we gotta stand up. We have to stand up for the airline workers and go,
Yeah.
hey, I've spent enough time with you guys to know what you're going through, and I'm here to help you in any way I can if you can get us off. And I'll tell you, my Miami to DC flight, which I thought was going to be canceled for sure. When I got on I thought it was going to be canceled for sure. DC had horrible weather, and we get on this flight, and the flight attendant, she was like, guys, we are trying to beat traffic. Everybody get in your seat quickly. And I was like,
love that.
I love this. I love what you're doing. Hey, can we change topics?
Yes.
I feel like this is worth talking about.
Permission to change topics.
Thank you. Hey, showed my penis on TV.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to ask about that. Not your penis.
Not my
You showed
penis.
a penis. You're allowed to say that? Sorry.
I've actually not answered this online because I was like, I'll wait for the podcast to say
Officially
that
have
is
a
not
gender
my
reveal
penis.
party. A genital reveal party.
That
Yeah.
was not my penis. It was fake.
You should have
The
hosted
story-
a viewing for it. Danny's genital reveal party.
Dude, I've never been more stressed about something coming out. Because you remember, I called you right after I got the call. I got the call a year ago. And it was like one of the most like complicated calls in my life because my reps call me and they're like, we got some news. You're going to want to sit down. They're like, they want you back on TED. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so, truly
Huge.
like my heart explodes. Like it's such a good show to be on. It's such a good character. Like could not have been more fired up. And they were, and I was like, oh my God. And they were like, whoop, whoop. Like that kind of, whoop, whoop. They're going to want you to be fake full frontal. And I literally was like, I'm not doing it. I was like, that's a line I don't want to cross. I'm out. Like, I was like, I don't want to do it. I was like, there's got to be a way to do this scene without it. This is genuine. This was my reaction. I was like, there's got to be a way to do a scene without it. Come on. There's got to be a way.
You're a silly boy.
And they
Dan.
were like, but Seth is smart. And they were like, totally. They're like, well, let's think about it. They're like, no, they did send the scene. They sent you this. They sent us the scene. Do you want to read the scene?
And you discovered it was a load-bearing penis.
And then I was like, let me read it. And then I read the scene and I was like, it's so funny. I literally was like, fuck. It's
Dick
so...
always is. Flaccid
You know-
penis is truly, I would say 3 of the funniest moments in any movie ever have been flaccid penis. I
It
mean,
was-
Dewey Cox Walk Hard. That was maybe one of the hardest I've ever laughed in theaters, but it just kept showing the guy's dick. Remember that?
Borat.
Borat. That was censored out. And then we forget Jason Segel.
Oh, yeah.
King of flaccid cock in R-rated comedies.
Yes. And
Isn't it funny when we see a woman naked in a movie, you're like, oh, I've seen her naked. But when we see a man naked, we just forget. We're like, oh, yeah, we've all seen Jason Segel's dick.
well, I
Crazy.
will tell you,
He's a respected actor.
when I did it, the lady, my intimacy coordinator, my intimacy coordinator was my least favorite person on the set by a bullet.
Okay, we're going out. Okay.
The only time I've ever gotten like a little mouthy with somebody on a set was this intimacy coordinator.
Wow.
Because I was like, but one thing she did say is she was like, I've done this for, and listed 30 famous actors. It made me feel a lot better. It was the only thing she did that made me feel better the entire time on set is she listed like all these actors that she had done fake penis with. And I was like, okay, that's nice.
The length of all their penises together would be a basketball court. If you put all of their dicks end to end,
yes,
it would span a distance.
You'd have a really good football drive. You would have a really good drive.
We're making first. We're making first down.
First down easy. Easy first down. I would say a chunk play. So she like I read the scene. I was like, all right, I'll do it. I called right back. I was like, I'll do it. It's so funny. I was like, and then I just like went through like the mental hurdles of like, I asked Jess. Jess was like, don't care. To her credit, like totally
awesome.
Don't care. My parents less excited, but they came around. And like my one thing is I was like, and I think this is good life advice because this is what I said, which is like, if you're gonna do it, do it. I was like, if we're doing this, I was like, I want it to be like, I was like, that road needs to be open. Like, if I'm doing it, let's do it. And what I don't want to do is show up on set and be like, I don't know. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, then that thing's out. Like, yeah, let's go for it.
And a lot of actors have that put me in coach. You know what I mean? If you've ever done like a physical thing, like you're like, I'll deal with the bruises later. I'll take the fall. I'll take the hurt. And when the cameras turn off, I'll feel all of it. But it's like that scene in Drive when you're like, when you're in the car, I'm yours.
I would say that I've seen a lot of actors half things where they're like, do I have to do it this amount? They do think about that. I'm somebody who, and famously destroyed my hamstrings filming something because if I say yes to something, I'm doing it. I'm not. Yeah.
Damien Chazelle. I don't think we've told that story on the podcast. It's one of the. I've repeated it to so many people. Can you tell people about your scene with Brad Pitt in Babylon and your first take and what the director told you before your second take?
Yeah. So the scene is, he's like, it's a scene where there's a bunch of stuff exploding in the tent, right? And I'm
long scene, 360 camera, yeah.
Not even 360. The camera. Damien Chazelle is a genius. The camera is swooping through this tent.
It's an OK Go video. Yeah.
I've truly never seen anything more complicated. And this is like shot one of the day. And granted, it's a long one, but I'm just like the most complicated director I've ever seen. I mean, it was so impressive what he was trying to do with every shot. This camera's swooping all over the place, and they're like throwing these things in. There's a spear. It's all these. It's very practical, and they're like, I say my lines are up top of the scene, so I say my lines, and then he's like, to kind of like the four of us who aren't Brad Pitt, he was like, need movement. We just need movement behind him, and we block it a couple times. And I was like, everyone else didn't really want to move. And I was like, oh, I'll move.
Why didn't they want to move?
Character, don't want to get hurt physically. Like, it's just
cowardice.
Listen, I wouldn't say that, but I would say that, like, some of them, I will say in their defense, a couple of them like have bigger roles in the movie. So they were like, I don't think my character is like stumbling and bumbling. But I was like, I don't care. And so I was like, I'll cover ground, and I start, but I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, this is a dramatic film. This is Damien Chazelle. We're going to be serious. And I do it once, and like, I fall a couple times, and then I do it a second time, and I go over to the monitor, and Damien Chazelle's like, we still need more movement. And I was like, Damien, how big do you want me to go? And he was like, you can't be big enough in this. And I went, Damien, I've been waiting my entire life for somebody to say that to me.
That's awesome.
If you watch that scene, the amount of exploration of the space I do is crazy.
Yeah. You exit the camera on the left and then enter from the right moments later, which is not like in the world of cinematography an unorthodox move.
I am flying.
I don't know what the 180 rule is on that, but
I'm flying back and forth. I would crawl and explode up. I would get to any like set piece. By the end, it was like, because it's like a 3-minute scene. I say my lines, and then I had a 2.5-minute physical comedy. I'll call it by myself, physical comedy masterclass in the back of this scene where Brad Pitt is acting beautifully, by the way. But in the background, Danny Jollis is exploring the space. Because if we're going to do it, let's do it. And I had bruises from that shoot for months, and I would do it again in 2 seconds. It was so worth it.
Sick.
And that was fake penis. I said, if we're going to do it, let's do it. And boy, did I do it. And boy, do I love how that scene turned out. It's so funny.
And you're getting really good feedback online. You're talking about getting followers from television, which doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen ever. The TED fans
What if you kept getting booked for dick roles?
Now that
that was just like your thing?
Once the seal was pulled, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm doing because that's the thing is it's like, it's just kind of this thing where you're like, am I pulling this now? Am I pulling this string now at this stage of my career for this opportunity? Like, and I really was like, I don't know, if but then I don't regret it. And my thing was like, by the time I go to that set, I have to be fully in. We're showing it. And boy, did I. Boy, is it funny. And I'm very happy with it.
Any specifics you can give on the intimacy coordinator, or you want to keep that a little?
No, no one will know who it is. The intimacy coordinator. So my thing was, and I said this 100 times. My reps, I said this then, which is like, I don't want it to be weird. I don't need the set closed off. We're doing it. This is being, and I literally said this a couple times to her. I said, this is being filmed for TV. This is going out to the world. Don't care who sees it on set.
Yeah.
Why would I give a shit?
Yeah.
This intimacy coordinator was so, like, she like couldn't grasp that. And so she was, I think, doing what she thought was her job. So she would just like, every 5 minutes she'd come up to me and be like, hey, just want you to know only Seth is allowed to look at the monitor. And I was like, why would you do that? She's like, what do you mean? It's like, I want everyone to look it's going on TV. I want everyone to look at the monitor. She's like, got it. And then like I'd sit down in my chair and she'd be like, come over. She'd be like, just so you know, I told everyone this area is closed off. I was like, why would you close this off? Why would you do that? At one point, the makeup people, they came over and they were like trying to look at it. And I was like, because they were trying to make it look good. And I was like, how is it looking? They're like, we think it's good. We can't really look at the monitor. And they said makeup is not to look at monitor. I was like, I'm going to kill her. I'm never on set. I pulled her aside and I was like, hey, I just need you to not do anything anymore. I need you. Like, you're making it weird. And
I need you to respect my lack of boundaries.
Yes. It's very odd to be like, I need you to not intimacy coordinate right now.
Yeah.
I need you to forget, like, your job is to protect me. I need you to walk away. And she was like,
yeah, I need you to be an Italian nightclub owner.
Yeah.
No boundaries.
Yes. I need you to say, okay, I don't see. But that was.
I like to touch the people. Yeah. Give me the hug, the kiss. Yeah.
That's what I needed from her. I needed her just to, like, and she.
I'd love a picture of you just leaning over, looking at the monitor with Seth, dick out.
So the thing is, because it covers your actual one, it feels like you're wearing underwear. It felt like I was wearing underwear.
Right.
So then I would kind of just like realize I just in my mind I wasn't naked, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, it looks like I'm naked.
It looks very convincingly like it. You sent me the picture of the prosthetic. And I remember like, this is weird. I don't like this. And I showed it to Laura, and we were both like, this grosses me out.
Yes.
Because it feels so good. And it was just like on the table, not even attached to you, just like lying on a surface.
Yep. Just a dick.
Just dick pubes, and then just some kind of like light mesh at the edges of it.
I've always thought it'd be funny because I do think if somebody ever hacks my phone, they're going to find pictures of me like naked in a mirror taking a picture with a penis, and they're going to be
continuity.
Like, and they're going to be like, if you don't do this, and I'm going to be like, we'll charge you. And I'm like, wait till you find out you've got the wrong.
Yeah. I'll charge you $9.99 a month for Peacock, where you can see this streaming. Yeah.
Am I the first cock on the Peacock? Nobody knows. But
Nobody knows?
I don't know how to.
Question. Why? Why prosthetic? Yeah. I would love to know the answer. I think I have an answer, but
my assumption is because I think obviously mine is just like too big. It's distracting. Two, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a problem. We don't want that.
They're like, we got to make him the star of the show now. You know what I mean? Yeah, he has to be. We have to make him a series,
right?
Regular.
It's a hat on a hat. If that's there, so to speak.
I thought you were circumcised. Okay.
Then that's so funny. It took me a second to play.
That was a little convoluted, but keep going.
No, I got there. I worked through it. Mm-hmm. I went hat on a hat on a hat. But then, I think it's because of continuity. That's
what I read.
Yes, I think it's because it's just easier if it's
penises be fluctuating,
and you know me, you never know what's going to happen, and so I was
mercurial little beast. Yes,
yes. So I was like, and it does still feel like, I will say there's a part of me that's like, it wasn't fully. So I liked it. I had a great time. It was fun.
That's so great,
it's
man.
Cool. It's a cool thing to be out. It's a cool thing to be out, and I'm fired up about it. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks, buddy.
We really should do a full episode on this.
I don't know if it needs to be a full episode, but I felt like it was worth telling on the pod. I was like, I feel like people are curious how something like that comes to be.
I feel like no one knew what the fuck an intimacy coordinator was up until this Baldoni Lively thing, and now they're like, it's kind of like Laura with cybersecurity. Every time there's a big hack or a big breach, suddenly people know about this industry that was otherwise not the biggest before. But like, I feel like they're kind of like, they're having a moment. Intimacy coordinators. I mean, I've
been around a bunch, and like, I think it's. I feel for everyone, because I think that there's people like me, and there's a lot of actors who are like, we're adults and we know how to behave, and I don't need an intimacy coordinator. Mm-hmm. And I think those intimacy coordinators are put in a tough spot because they're trying to do their job. And there's people like me who are like, get out of my way. Mm-hmm. And then simultaneously, you have sets you're going to where there's an actor who's an absolute moron, who's behaving inappropriately. And your job is literally to protect somebody. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that guy has a very similar cadence to what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Only it's the wrong thing, and your job is actually so I think it's a hard job. I think it's a tough job. And that said, boy, did I hate that one. Boy, did I hate mine.
It's solo. It's like, what are we doing? I get when it's between two people, you have to be quite
totally, but also
the liaison,
that, like, I've done I've done a couple of scenes where I've been intimate with somebody, and it's, you're just like, at the end of the day, like if you're two adults, you have to be like, okay, like
Yeah.
I think I said, because I had it was one long one where like we had to do a bunch of stuff, and I just said to her, I was like, hey, and at this point we'd acted for a couple of days. She knew that I wasn't, but I go, hey, I'm not a method actor. If at any point you don't like something I'm doing, just say don't do that, and I will literally freeze in place. Like, and she was like, great. I was like, I'm gonna do that. I'm not in character. Like, I will be responsive. And then
I've kissed on camera before, quite a couple of times. It's
awkward, isn't it?
It was one of my first times ever doing it, and I forget this actress's name, but she's quite a good actress. She's been in a lot of things, and we were making out for this like pilot presentation for a show that actually went to series, and they never cast me in it. We were making out, and I wasn't using tongue, and we're just like a sloppy like douchebag couple that was all over each other, much to the chagrin of the main character. And I was not using tongue, thinking we don't need it, you can't see it. And at one point she goes back, she goes, use tongue. And I was like, all right. She was a method.
That's so funny.
And then I've had others where I'm like, oh, this is kind of stage kissing because this is uncomfortable. It was like a friend who cast me in something, and I was like,
you want that other person in that scene to be like, hey, I'm with you. Like, let's go for it. Like, let's have fun. Like, let's do this. But sometimes you get the person who's like, actually don't. And you're like, and immediately I'm like,
fair too.
I'm going to match you. Yeah, I'm going to match you.
Yeah,
like,
hey,
I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. Push it. So you got it. I'll do it however you want this kiss to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And or whatever.
It's very odd and or strange. Yeah.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
Kissing on a set is so awkward, dude.
Awkward. The sex scenes blow my mind. That's so crazy to hump someone.
Oh, it's so
to fake an orgasm. Oh my god.
We had to do for blowing up right now. Me and this girl, it was supposed to be like a hidden camera catching us having sex. So they were like, we need you guys just to kind of like explore the space for 2 minutes because it's gonna be sped up. So they were like, we just need you guys to like explore space. That was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done.
And they go, Danny, you cannot go too big on.
And I said, you heard him.
I think that's a good point. Danny, where are you gonna be?
Shit.
I can go first. Okay.
You go first.
I'm going to be in Springfield, Massachusetts, Conroe, Texas, Houston, Texas, Lafayette, Louisiana, Baltimore, Boston, D.C., Dublin. And that's just the spring. And then in the fall, I'm truly everywhere. And if I'm not in a place, go sign up for my guest list. Go to my website, which is broussard.live. And if you go and sign up and then just add your email and your location, that does me the biggest favor you can ask for. It means I don't have to pay Mark Zuckerberg for ads. It means I can let you know when I'm going to where you are, nowhere else. I'm not going to spam you, and I can let you know when I have a special. And that's the only 2 times I will email you. So, yeah, really sign up for that guest list. Please, please, please. It means so much. It gives me so much, like, birth, I guess, for touring and all the places I can go. And, yeah.
Couldn't say that louder. I've actually literally been trying to figure out how to post about this because I'm trying.
Oh, does the algorithm not like when you try to ask people to subvert the algorithm?
If you can believe it,
do they not push that?
Yeah, this can't be released as a clip. What we're saying right now cannot be released as a clip because it will be we will be punished for a month if Zuckerberg gets word that we are asking you for an email. But the reason we do that is because I will say I have a couple cities where I've got enough emails and I'm starting to build enough emails where if I can get to a certain place, I can go, you know what? I'm just going to do a one-nighter there. And I'm going to try to do I'm going to do a big door deal. So it's like, it's literally the way that you can, because people always like, come here. And I'm like, hey, if you can get enough friends to give me that email, I'll promise you I'll come. I've thought about doing a thing where I'm like, hey, if you can get 50 emails in your city, I'll come. I will make it a point to come in the next 6 months. I might do something like that. Because I'm like, it's true. You get 50 emails. You give me 50 emails in a city, done. I'll be there.
And I hate to say it, it'll be a better show because of the nature of the people who are there for the excitement of one night and they came knowing you. Yeah. What are those cities, by the way?
So you can catch me right now in Idaho, Dallas, Texas. The Punchline just announced April 2nd to 4th. Los Angeles, about to have a ton of stuff. In May, Los Angeles, you are going to have 3 different types of Danny performances happening.
And his new show is really good. To those listening, Danny's doing something really, really cool and really, really interesting and well made on stage. And see it live before it becomes
I'm excited about it.
The talk of the fringe or whatever.
Then Lexington, Kentucky, Brea, California, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Columbus, Ohio, and more.
And more. Thanks so
And more.
much. Thanks for listening to Jolly Brew. Catch you next time.